Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now November 19th of 2022, and we have just, of course, the end of Andor around the corner with the final episode debuting this upcoming Wednesday. A lot of Star Wars fans are also looking forward to the future by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and what they have in store for the Mandalorian Season 3, Ahsoka series, and even Bad Batch. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new universe between Jon, George, and Dave is that they really are beginning to turn things around for the fandom by really giving the fans something true to look forward to. We already know that everything related to the Disney Star Wars universe as we speak is ever evolving, and they're trying to really turn things around for the franchise for the better. And one way to go about doing that is by paying a lot of respect to the past Star Wars universe, of course, with the prequel trilogy lore, original trilogy lore, and exactly how that's all going to play out in the upcoming Star Wars TV shows. Now, of course, with that being all done and said, one thing that a lot of things, are leading to the fans are everything, of course, with revelations, twists and turns, and how they're going to be able to also create a lot of retcons and special editions, and that, of course, leads us to what we're talking about today, about these altered cuts of The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker that are actively in development as we speak. Now, with that being said, one thing that Jon and Dave are actively working on is an altered version of The Last Jedi that's going to actually include a brand new take on Luke Skywalker's death. Now, with Disney and Lucasfilm getting ready to make some big decisions with the Star Wars universe, one major choice that they made has to do with Luke Skywalker and his return into the Star Wars franchise in a post-Episode 9 project that Favreau and Filoni are putting together as we speak. However, what they are also doing is changing Luke Skywalker's death during the events of The Last Jedi. Both Favreau and Filoni are making a canon that it's a done deal that the Force ghosts of Anakin, Kenobi, and Yoda actually will be seen in an altered scene that's being created for The Last Jedi in a new cut of the film that will be served as a special edition. Jon and Dave are about to make a canon that the power that Luke uses, aka the Force projection technique, is a power natural to the netherworld of the Force, and it's officially called the astral plane projection technique. Jon and Dave are making a canon that this causes a midichlorian overload that leads to Luke Skywalker's death. Now, I want to tap into this for a second before I get to the more involved, exciting material, is that this, of course, is just Jon and Dave really trying to lend things to the Star Wars fans to kind of make Luke's death a little bit more satisfactory, right? And I think a lot of people will agree with me on this, that if you're going to kill Luke off in the middle film of the sequel trilogy, right, you should have at least made it more exciting or more valuable to the audience. So I think that this is something that should have been done a very long time ago by including all of the biggest cameos in Star Wars. Luke, of course, Anakin, Kenobi, and Yoda all in one moment, helping each other out to distract Kylo Ren. That's exactly what Jon and Dave are doing. They're basically altering Luke's death, adding both new meaning to it and a new visual to it as well. So basically now what they're doing is that they're going to make a canon that what killed Luke was a midichlorian overload, but visually speaking, it's going to change. They're going to show the Force ghosts of the past, Anakin, Kenobi, and Yoda helping Luke out from the netherworld of the Force using the astral plane projection technique. That's officially what the new power is. Astral plane projection. The thing about that is, in case you guys did not know, Jon and Dave are officially calling the netherworld of the Force the astral plane, an idea that was originally created by Colin Trevorrow for Duel of the Fates that never made it into canon. So by 2023 and 2024, we're going to officially know exactly how this all plays out. So by next year, they're going to make a canon that the Netherworld will be called the Astral Plane. I like that idea. Kind of sounds Star Wars-y to me at least. But the Netherworld has been used in so many other franchises, it makes sense that they would want to change it to the Astral Plane. Now, obviously, when you think about astral, you think about astral projection. So it makes a lot of sense how this Force ability, or technique, whatever have you, originates from the Netherworld of the Force, or aka the afterlife, right? Makes a lot of sense to me, at least. So these special editions, and we talked about this, of how they are making special editions of The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker that is not only going to include deleted scenes, but it's also going to include altered scenes, much like what George Lucas did with the original trilogy. Moving on. Now, but a special edition of The Last Jedi is underway that is set to provide fans a look at the Force ghost behind Luke's back, adding in this ability as he is using it to distract Kylo Ren. John and Dave plan to begin work on this new cut by next year, to release it sometime in 2024 for Disney+, that will also allow fans to see an altered version of his death. Now, Hayden has already been contacted about returning to take part in The Last Jedi Special Edition. George Lucas will also be involved in this technique on how they can digitally recreate Sir Alec Guinness as Kenobi's Force Ghost for this scene in particular for the fans. So keep in mind here that what they are doing is that they are regrouping all the fan favorite characters into one big moment. Now, sure, I know some fans are going to still have issues with this because it still leads to Luke's death. But at the very minimum, what I got to give them credit for is that this at least enhances the experience. It gives fans a little bit more of a fun attitude with the whole entire moment, seeing Anakin, Kenobi, and Yoda helping Luke out before he meets his demise. It just spices things up a little bit more. I know it doesn't really fix things per se, but it at least kind of adds a better flavor to it. So overall, I think that John and Dave, are really trying their best to kind of handle things, and also respecting the creators and really kind of trying to just go about their business. But this is just a little extra thing that they do on the side, right? So overall, I think that what John and Dave are putting together is superb when it comes to The Mandalorian, but things like this can be very touchy, right? Some fans are going to like this, some fans are going to hate this. That's just the ultimate truth. And at the end of the day, it all really comes down to how it's all going to be executed and how it's all going to be handled. So I would like to hear what you guys have to say about this. Do you guys think special editions of the sequels are really necessary? And do you think it's going to harm or benefit those movies? I would love to hear your opinion about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. From night to moon, we hear them moans again.